This list brings together authority figures people who hold on-screen power in professional wrestling promotions or brands within North America. The North American wrestling industry portrays authority figures as responsible for making matches, providing rules and generally keeping law and order both in and outside of the ring. The role can vary according to disposition. A face authority figure tends to give what the fans want and favors fellow face wrestlers. Note for example Theodore Long. Heel authority figures tend to run their shows out of their own self-interest. Vince McMahon's Mr. McMahon gimmick exemplifies this type. WWE authority figures. In the past, WWE's authority figure was presented by the president, who had booking power and controlled all wrestlers. However, in 1997, the president was replaced by the commissioner, with Sergeant Slaughter serving as the first WWE commissioner. During the Attitude Era of WWE, not only the commissioner, but Vince McMahon had booking power as well through his chairman position under his evil character Mr. McMahon. McMahon usually used his power in order to haze his nemesis, Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Shawn Michaels was commissioner, he was able to overrule McMahon, but he only sporadically exercised his booking power, and was working with an ironclad contract where he couldn't be fired. When Mick Foley acquired the position, he took full reign until he was fired from the position. Upon splitting the WWE into two separate brands in the WWE brand extension of 2002, on-screen co-owners Vince McMahon and Ric Flair proceeded to draft WWE wrestlers into two separate rosters. Flair took ownership of Raw, while McMahon controlled SmackDown. After McMahon regained control of the entire company, he removed Flair from control of Raw, relinquished his own position, and appointed separate general managers to control the different brands. On July 18, 2011, Triple H came to Raw and told Vince McMahon that the board of directors revoked his day-to-day operation power, and named him to manage it instead. After that, Triple H became the WWE's chief operating officer who had the booking power in WWE on both Raw and SmackDown brands until the board stripped him of his power, and named John Laurinaitis the interim general manager of Raw. Chairman, Vince McMahon, Sr. Vince McMahon, Chief Executive Officer, Steve Austin 1, Linda McMahon 2, Vince McMahon, 1 kayfabe appointed CEO by Linda McMahon. Subsequently lost power in a ladder match at King of the Ring. 2 Linda McMahon gained control after her husband Vince McMahon was barred from appearing on WWF television after Fully Loaded. In real life, Linda McMahon served on the board of directors for WWE from 1980. Vince McMahon appointed her to the position of CEO in 1994 during the WWF steroids scandal. President, Willie Geiltzenberg, Hisashi Shinma, Jack Tunney, Gorilla Monsoon, Roddy Piper interim president, chief operating officer, Triple H Theodore Long assistant to the COO. 1 Theodore Long announced that Triple H had given him the power to book Raw when necessary. This arrangement ended when John Laurinaitis became interim general manager of Raw. Director of Operations, Kane, Commissioner Sergeant Slaughter, Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley 1, Deborah Lieutenant Commissioner William Regal, 1 While Mick Foley was commissioner in 2000, he was the ultimate on-screen authority, overriding everyone else. Raw authorities. Owner, Ric Flair, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Executive Vice President 1. Donald Trump, 1 Shane McMahon made occasional appearances all throughout this time and had booking power. General Manager Eric Biscoff 1, Chief Morley Chief of Staff, Steve Austin Sheriff. Steve Austin 2, Mick Foley 2, Vince McMahon interim general manager Jonathan Coachman executive assistant. Jonathan Coachman acting interim general manager, William Regal, Jonathan Coachman executive assistant. Mike Adam, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Vicky Guerrero 3, Vicky Guerrero, Bret Hart, Hornswoggle 4 Michael Cole spokesman for the anonymous general manager. John Laurinaitis 5 David Otunga legal counsel, Theodore Long assistant to the general manager Eve Torres executive administrator. AJ Lee, Vicky Guerrero a Euro Managing Supervisor 6 Brad Maddox Assistant to the Managing Supervisor. Brad Maddox, 1 Biscoff was briefly fired from the General Manager position on February 10, 2003. He would be rehired by Vince McMahon later that night. 2 Austin and Foley served as co-general managers with Biscoff during their respective tenures in 2003. 3 On February 23, 2009, the board of directors named Vicky Guerrero interim general manager when Stephanie McMahon took a leave of absence. She became permanent GM on April 6, 2009. 4 From July 18, 2011 when Triple H became the WWE COO, the anonymous general manager had not appeared and used any booking power on Raw, but the podium still appeared on Raw every week until Hell in a Cell on October 2, 2011. However, on July 9, 2012, it was finally revealed that Hornswoggle was the anonymous general manager. 5 On October 10, 2011, Vince McMahon returned to Raw and announced that Triple H was relieved of his booking duties by the board of directors and that John Laurinaitis was the interim general manager. He became general manager on April 1, 2012. 6 Guerrero was given the title of managing supervisor by the board of directors when she regained control of Raw on October 22, 2012. SmackDown authorities. Owner, Vince McMahon, Stacey Keibler a Euro personal assistant, Dawn Marie a Euro legal assistant. General manager Stephanie McMahon, Paul Heyman, Kurt Angle, Theodore Long, Palmer Cannon a Euro network executive, Vicky Guerrero a Euro assistant general manager. Vicky Guerrero, Theodore Long a Euro assistant general manager. Theodore Long, Vicky Guerrero a Euro official consultant, Zack Ryder a Euro assistant to the general manager Santino Marella a Euro assistant to the general manager. John Laurinaitis, David Otunga a Euro legal counsel, Theodore Long a Euro assistant to the general manager Eve Torres a Euro executive administrator. Booker T, Theodore Long a Euro senior advisor to the general manager Eve Torres a Euro assistant to the general manager. Vicky Guerrero, Saturday Morning Slam authority figures. Owner, Vince McMahon, General Manager Mick Foley, NXT authority figures, Host, Matt Striker, Ashley Valence a Euro co-host, Mariah a Euro co-host. Match Coordinator, William Regal, General Manager Dusty Rhodes, John Bradshaw Layfield, William Regal, ECW Brand Authorities. Owner, Vince McMahon, General Manager Paul Heyman, Armando Estrada, Theodore Long, Tiffany a Euro Assistant General Manager. Tiffany 1 On April 7, 2009, the Board of Directors named Tiffany interim General Manager when Theodore Long announced his return to SmackDown as General Manager following Vicky Guerrero's appointment as General Manager of Raw. She became permanent General Manager on June 30, 2009. Total Nonstop Action Wrestling Authority figures. Director of Authority. The Director of Authority operated as the on-screen authority figure for the company, Eric Watts, Don Callis, Jeff Jarrett, Vince Russo, Dusty Rhodes. NWA Championship Committee. TNA Wrestling also maintained a championship committee a Euro established in 2004 to help the Director of Authority to book matches and to keep contenders in proper order. The committee members also served as guest judges for TNA Impact. When broadcast by Fox Sports Net, as all matches had a time limit and if the match went to time, a judge had to make the call as to who had won. The committee consisted of Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race, Terry Funk. Funk never appeared on screen in TNA. Roddy Piper, Larry Zbysko, Management Director, Jim Cornette, Matt Morgan a Euro bodyguard enforcer. President, Dixie Carter 1 Mick Foley a Euro executive shareholder, Hulk Hogan a Euro managing partner, Rockstar Spud a Euro chief of staff, MVP a Euro investor 3. Hulk Hogan a Euro, 2 Mick Foley a Euro network consultant. 1 Dixie Carter has been legitimately TNA president since 2003 after Panda Energy International became majority shareholder of TNA. However, she began to have an on-screen role in 2009. 2 Hulk Hogan was president from October 2010 to October 2011 after Carter unknowingly signed her power away to him in a contract. Carter was re-established as on-screen president following Sting defeating Hogan at Bound for Glory. 3. Even with MVP no longer the director of wrestling operations as of June 26, 2014 edition of Impact Wrestling, he would still be an investor. General Manager Sting Hulk Hogan, Executive Director of Wrestling Operations, MVP 1, Kurt Angle 2, 1 as a result of the outcome of the Lethal Lockdown match at Lockdown, MVP partly took control of TNA as the Director of Wrestling Operations, 2 as a result of a decision made by TNA's Board of Directors. On June 20, 2014, MVP was stripped of his title, with Kurt Angle announced as MVP's replacement as the Executive Director of Wrestling Operations. Knockouts Division Commissioner, Tracy Brooks, Ms. Tess Matcher, Karen Jarrett a Executive Vice President, Tracy Brooks a Executive Assistant. Brooke Hogan a Executive, Explosion Commissioner, Desmond Wolfe a Executive Producer, Eric Biscoff Ms. Tess Matcher a Executive Assistant. Representative of the TNA Board of Directors, Earl Sullivan Armstrong a 1 made the announcement on June 20, 2014 that MVP was stripped of his title as Director of Wrestling Operations, then later on announced Kurt Angle as MVP's replacement as Executive Director of Wrestling Operations. Ring of Honor Authority Figures. Jim Cornette a Commissioner, Ric Flair a Raw Ambassador, Jim Cornette a Executive Producer, Nigel McGuinness a Matchmaker, IWA Authority Figures. Savio Vega, General Manager Orlando Toledo, General Manager Joe Bravo, General Manager World Championship Wrestling Authority Figures. Ted Turner purchased Jim Crockett Promotions and launched World Championship Wrestling in 1988. The company went through a series of vice presidents and bookers, ranging from those with little wrestling experience to those entrenched in the old territorial methods of promotion, until Eric Biscoff took control in 1994. His tenure saw the creation of WCW Monday Nitro, the start of the Monday Night Wars, and the formation of the New World Order. Declining ratings saw Biscoff ousted in 1999, and former WWF writer Vince Russo was hired in an attempt to salvage the company. WCW was purchased by the WWF in March 2001, however the company was featured prominently on WWF television as part of the Invasion storyline for the remainder of the year. Owner, Ted Turner, Harvey Schiller a Vice President of Turner Sports. Shane McMahon 1, Vince McMahon, 1 Shane McMahon owned WCW as part of the Invasion storyline. Executive Vice President, Jim Herd, Kip Allen Frey, Bill Watts, Eric Biscoff, Bill Bush, President, Eric Biscoff, Ric Flair 1 Charles Robinson a Vice President. 1 Flair became on-screen president after defeating Eric Biscoff in a match on Nitro. Commissioner, Nick Bockwinkel, J.J. Dillon, Roddy Piper, Terry Funk, Kevin Nash, Jeff Jarrett, Acting Interim Commissioner. Ernest Miller, Mike Sanders, Lance Storm, William Regal 1 Regal served as commissioner during the Invasion storyline. Miscellaneous figures, Vince Russo, 1 Ed Ferrara 1. Eric Biscoff, 1 Upon arriving in WCW, Russo and Ferrara introduced the powers that be, a mysterious on-screen presence that controlled the company. Extreme Championship Wrestling Authority figures. Todd Gordon a owner, Paul Heyman a owner, Cyrus, network representative. Stephanie McMahon a owner 1, Vince McMahon a owner, 1 Stephanie McMahon owned ECW as part of the Invasion storyline. See also: List of professional wrestlers, List of professional wrestling promoters, notes and references.